Hello, hello, hello. Oh, my microphone's working and my camera is in angle. Jesus Christ. Everything's going according to plan. That's actually impressive. Jesus. I had to unplug and replug my mic, so I was assuming it was going to do what it always did. We are back in Fontaine. I took a mini break because I was a bit annoyed after the previous quest ending. I didn't like it. Well, I wasn't a fan of it. I understand the game is edgy, whatever. But I'm obviously going to continue playing the game. If they do something like that again, I might just, put down the controller for good. But I've put a lot of time and investment, and I put quite a bit of money into the game as well. And it's just something that I enjoy playing. I did, in my spare time, do a side mission. I said I was going to stream all the main missions, so it really doesn't matter. But I did the Alice in Wonderland themed side mission where you go and get the Jabberwock sword, and without spoiling too much, you meet Marianne, who is the character from Alice in Wonderland, and she does some shit. It's very cool. I did that off stream just to make myself feel better. And yeah, I've been farming Nymph Stream.
I came here several times with my father when I was
not been going well.
but stopped eating here as
Turn my
often after growing
bloody
up.
headphones down.
I hope the food here will be to your taste.
There we go. I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste. Oh, sorry, I had to read that because I missed it. I'm just going to take my seat and do some reading.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten.
Actually, I'm going to put my headphones on and listen as well, so I don't talk over them.
Paimon's getting excited already.
That's so loud in my ear.
Oh, in that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Oh, funny bone. What we eating? And I've forgotten your name already.
Ooh, everything looks so good. Keep on Fontaine.
That is a lot of carbs, Jesus.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try
Oh,
whatever
bread and
you
cheese.
like.
Oh,
If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
oh, no,
And
no.
if it's not? Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table. Yeah. Sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
It is worth celebrating that Linny is free.
True. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes. Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food.
Come on, Hanson. Let me jump.
Speaking
Sorry, my
of
cat's
dishes,
What?
do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened? Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward,
Hello.
but I feel that's about
Oh.
it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after. If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
You can.
Right?
Dissolved
It
into
was
water.
because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before. Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking. We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
It was you, wasn't it, Midge? Killed them. You killed them all!
Such investigations, even the
Sorry, I'm just going to wind him up so that he wants to get off me and run away. Go on.
trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have
You're
high
just
hopes
lying
for
on your
any
back getting
follow-up
tummy rubs
the
now.
authorities
That's
might
not...
conduct.
That's
It's
not
that I
being
don't
annoyed.
have faith in their ability. It's just that
Hmm.
a different perspective is required in some
So-
matters. It's
Yes.
easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective.
There we
A
go.
shift in thinking is required at
There
such
we go.
times
And
in
he's...
order to produce a breakthrough, which is exactly why
He's
the
not.
Spina di Rosula
Take your mind up.
exists.
What are you doing?
Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
It's going to be annoying until you run away. You do not need snuggles right now. They're cuddles all day. And you are not hungry, so don't even try and pull that card, fat man.
This was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else.
There's now just a cat on camera. Hang
What are
on.
your future plans?
We need to speak to Farina.
True. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far.
My other cat is sat directly behind me as well. Just down here on the right.
Line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well,
Oh.
would you consider some more,
Lord of the Cats.
unique ways? Perhaps even methods of,
Let's
let's say, questionable legality?
Guess that's Bina Di Rosula's boss for you.
We're going back to your
Chock full of
sleeping bed.
sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate.
I put new pets in the title of my stream.
Only to abandon your act to the play's
I did
climax
post
and
them.
ask to speak to her after the performance.
Just
I'm sure
randomly.
Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending.
Fish
and would
decided.
agree in order
Yeah,
to finish
we get
watching
it,
the play.
Navia. You're going
Don't you
through some
think?
back.
Could you suggest something a little
Yeah, that would help, but like,
practical? This plan seems pretty hard
trying to
pull
talk
off.
about pets.
We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
Alright, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Which you would do if you broke into someone's house and hid under the bed. That would be quite annoying.
I overlooked
creepy.
that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
Okay, before I click this button and continue with this story, Fish decided 4 days ago now that she would attack a field mouse. No, sorry, Mid, this one, that boy. Mid decided that he would attack a field mouse in the garden. I went outside, picked it up, it had been bitten. I had to, take it to the vets, have an antibacterial jab, and brought it home. I put it in a cage to make sure that it was okay. Well, I put it in a box, and then I bought a cage. And then Fish, literally the next day, decided to attack another field mouse, who has gone to the vet, and has had his antibac. And at the minute, they are both sat in the bedroom, in a cage, not sure what's going to happen with them. They're adorable, and I'd love to keep them. They might just have to be re-released. There they are. They are tiny, they are adorable, they seem to get on really well with each other. I'm guessing they're, well, either from the same litter or they're just randomly, they know each other because they don't seem to be aggressive with each other in any way, and I don't know if field mice are territorial, but they're very, very cute. And I have been just cleaning out a cage recently. Also, we're getting a new rabbit. So we, the royal we, are getting a new rabbit.
Alright, no more joking around.
Ow.
Perhaps
I keep sitting on it.
could.
Thank you.
Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally.
Yes, because she is an idiot.
I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
So we blackmail her.
But if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse.
Or we could just
Oh,
blackmail
that
her.
does make some sense.
Yes, it is worth a try, Nadia. Good
Why
plan.
don't we give it a try after this meal? Strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh?
So hot in this
Emma,
house,
did you
Jesus.
drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry.
Okay,
about
Paimon
that.
did actually drink it this time. There's not just
Really
another
paid
random
attention,
thief.
and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
No, we're not. There's still like 2 main courses and 7 bits of dessert on the table.
Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Is Fonta like Fanta? Because if so, I agree.
Is that so? case, we'll have to blacklist the Fonta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
I don't like Fanta. I don't even like Tango.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm discussing carbonated drinks.
Thanks for the treat, Navia.
I've not been a big fan of fizzy drinks for quite some time. Other than the occasional super high in sugar energy drink. But that is very rare nowadays. Yeah, I'm not the one to talk to about energy drinks, and not energy drinks, just normal fizzy drinks. I know nothing of them anymore. It's been years. Not been years. But it has been a very long time since I tried. I don't even drink Coke. Coke's disgusting. Dr. Pepper's still quite good. I don't know why I'm just discussing carbonated drink. I'm waiting for the game to bloody load. Literally, yeah. You gonna speak? Oh, so full Paimon can barely float anymore. You could try walking, you know. You just didn't want to say the first line? Okay.
You know, like you.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Nothing.
Huh.
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over there?
Trying to budget, something I struggle very highly at.
It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
The main reason I want to finish the quest
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do
is
encounter
because
any
it's the
other trouble
4.2
Fontaine,
quest, and
you're
for anyone who
always
doesn't know, you
welcome
need to do the
contact
4.2
Miss
quest
Spina di Rosula.
to be able to have your daily commissions in Fontaine. I was hoping it was going to be at the end of 4.1.
I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
Oh. Man, your tail. I keep laying on it, but on the other side, thank you. I keep laying on his tail, I can just feel it in my back. I don't want to lean on him. Go to the Fountain Plaza in front of the Opera House. I was literally there before this mission started. Jesus. Thank you, Genshin, for making me sit in loading screen 20 minutes every stream. Oh. Okay. Game was just super laggy for no reason. What the hell is going on with Genshin? It might just be my place, to be fair, but still. It's quite annoying.
Let's move out.
Yeah. We're just gonna go speak to Farina. I don't even know what this mission entails. I've not seen any spoilers.
Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the
Farina
last
Fontaine.
one. Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler?
Yeah, that was
Are you hearing voices again?
really Paimon.
Ugh. That's kinda spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Who is this person?
Hey, why are you still walking towards it?
I can feel strong emotions. Yeah, that's how it works.
Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right?
No idea who that is.
Hey,
Yeah.
Traveler? Stop walking!
But the creepy look. Jesus. Walking towards a fountain. We're going to go into a weird dream state. We are. Nice.
Vache, are you my dear Vache?
Nope. My name is Goose.
No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
Nope. No clue.
Wait. Who am I?
Is this the ocean? The actual ocean?
I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered.
That's depressing, but
How much have I lost?
who is Vache?
How many things that I once held dear while on land have I sent? Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who is lost, therefore.
There was no end to that
I don't know how
sentence.
I came
You
to
used to
know
be
this
who?
either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim.
You be. I don't. It's what? This is not the actual ocean.
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril.
Probably find out it's our brother.
No matter where I went, Vacher would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me. And I also loved him equally as much.
Hey, I'm just gonna pretend it's a human that got
We can no longer go back. The pain of
We will find.
No.
Pardon me. Sorry about that.
No longer has any meaning.
We will find Vacher.
Way for us to create
Do not dare
any-
Oceanid question mark.
The thought of me gives him no succor. So
Succor.
let it lie
A
forgotten
word
for
I've
so long.
not heard before.
If you meet Vacher, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I
This is really sad.
Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness,
Oh.
I saw Vacher above the surface.
So your husband or partner or boyfriend, whatever,
Such longing.
witnessed you get turned
If
into
only I could have comforted him.
water.
Told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, is that what you call it?
Dissolving.
Dissolving. If anything, I consider it a form of release.
Yeah, but you dissolve.
It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
Whatever. It seems that after the body is dissolved,
My hero
you.
companion. It's time for you
Yeah,
to
it's
go.
time on this.
Farewell then. I am glad that you were able to
Sense my presence. If you see Vacher, tell him
Remember,
to seek me out no
see
longer.
Vacher. Tell him not
Not
to seek me out.
seek me out any longer. Okay. I said the same thing, but I got the words confused. Alright. I'm on. Oh, Jesus, it's an actual cussing. Oh no, streamer, I'm still in exam periods. I'm focusing on revising. Enjoy your revising. Best of luck. I'm just like, that is perfect, fine. Good luck on your revision. I'm just finishing 4.2, so I can start doing my dailies in Fontaine. Where the hell did this all happen?
Demoiselle, look out!
And then you let me Ayaka ult, please?
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex.
Yeah, we can take them.
Chlorand?
Why tease it? Okay, I was gonna say, is Chlorinde magically an arsehole? I want her as a character. I'm giving her a better sword than that when I do. Jesus Christ.
Quick, now's our chance!
I love how they give so many different characters like random weapons in cutscene. Oh. Wait, is it not Mika? The new 4-star that's been likened to you. I cannot remember what his name is. Linny and Lynette's younger brother. In all of his pictures, he uses the bell. Is he really going to be a HP-based version of Eula? That just seems weird. Why? Why are you using these weapons? Actual weapons. But surely she'd be carrying your canonical weapon. I don't think we've ever seen a Venti cutscene where he actually holds Elegy for the end. And I know Elegy was released after Venti.
I should
Still.
thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I can't remember if during the Zhao and Hu Tao missions you see him with like Homer and Jade Spear.
It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the
Bad.
same.
Still do not know anything about you other than that you
Do
worked for
not
Farina.
Speak of my father.
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Chlorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry.
You just saved like 30 minutes.
Do not
Oh,
consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful.
it's
Your
the
performance tonight will
Fatui.
almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me.
See, that's a good
To
point.
be honest,
We know
I'm shocked it's taken them this long to
Lily and
recognize
Lynette.
me.
We know Lily and Lynette are part of the Fatui, and they were trying to pin the blame on the Fatui, and serial disappearances aren't linked to Lily and Lynette in that way. But the only bad guys we know in the entirety of Genshin so far are the fucking Fatui. Is there going to be another organised crime group that just work in Fontaine? Is it just people that, you know, the police is obviously corrupted because one of them's mad. But, like, is it just the Fatui controlling
About
more
these
shit?
Gardemex. I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not
In the
ones
3
used
seconds
by
we
the
had
humans
between
to
me
enforce
killing them
the
all
law.
and then disappearing, of
I
course
can
you did.
only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do
I
not
want
act
Clarissa.
rashly.
I will continue investigating.
She
no
may be
matter
the second
what.
character I
We
wish
will
on
bring
joining.
the truth to light.
The
That's
Archon.
my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clarant.
Oh, but I want the weapons.
Get any
Oh, it's so
ideas?
hard. I hate
Tell me
wishing in
first.
Genshin.
I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike
Oh,
again
and my
anytime
cat is
soon.
still literally sat on me.
So I shall stop
The most
following you.
cute thing he's done
Good
in a
day.
very long time. Just really waiting to stand up thinking to eat food. It is not dinner time yet.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
Maybe.
I know, she's...
She's an asshole.
Oh, thank goodness! I thought we were done for. Those
No.
Gardemex came out of nowhere.
There's literally like 20 Gardemex. I don't understand why Paimon seems to... There's so many times in this game where characters, like main characters and Paimon and that, are just like, oh my god, how did we do that? And it's like, kill the fucking dragon.
Got lucky there.
A lot.
Probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
You wouldn't have fought any of them. I would have defeated them all. We know this.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk.
It's like 20, 30
That
guard
wasn't really
mates.
a
That would have been
farewell meal
like
we had back there.
3 minutes.
Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast.
That's
As
a very
such,
good plan.
We're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
I like Melis.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Melis might be my favourite character from the story so far because he's so posh and lovely and he can make macaroni.
You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well,
What
to be honest,
the F
you're the one who tipped us off,
stuck
Paimon.
in my eye?
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more amazing than she thought.
Yes.
Don't give
All
Paimon a
thanks
big
to
head,
you grinding
please.
my
You'll
drink
hold it
by
against
mistake.
us for the rest of the storyline.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kinda salty and icky.
Oh,
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors. So how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I
were
recall,
they trying to
had also
turn
put it
Navia
off.
into
So the
Dissolved
Fanta
Navia?
had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
fucking lucky Paimon drank it, otherwise you just wouldn't be a character that exists anymore.
So, if you hadn't drunk that
Yeah.
cup for me,
Right.
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Jesus.
Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate. But whoever did this left no trace at all.
I guess it's
That's when I figured out that you might be in danger.
one of the weird
and hurried
cases
here
of
as quickly
never
as I could.
What? Why
Never drink water in public, blah blah blah. You know, bottled water and everything. Jesus Christ. But actually, that would have been bottled, wouldn't it? It's Fanta.
Too, aren't we?
Jeez.
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process.
Yeah, and almost wiped out one of the main characters just because we
Did anything
ate in a
strange
restaurant.
happen when you drank the
Christ.
primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. She said that she heard that voice calling for Vache
Yes,
again.
the ocean question mark.
And this time Paimon heard it too. But it was real faint.
The
Does
voice
this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then?
to do with sense.
Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
I have no clue,
That
Paimon.
doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
We did go into Nuance, so we know that the oceanid question mark, whatever,
Well, let's hear it.
Bashar,
shall we?
was in love with a person named Bashar. The person named Bashar was a witness when she dissolved.
Oh, that is important.
Find someone called Bashar.
Vache.
Bashar.
That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't
Sorry,
stepped forward as
my
a
bad.
witness in court
Vache.
lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he
Maybe
have
he's
been
really confused.
threatened? Yes.
How do we know he didn't? Okay.
This is very important
Confusing.
information indeed. We will continue to
Write
investigate.
that down. Write that down. This is the most important piece of information on trial. Write it down. Sorry.
Oh, you mean
Sidetrack.
help us investigate?
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right?
Yes.
And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
No, of course not. How dare they give us
Mademoiselle,
salty
do
drinks?
try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula.
What new coffee in this garbage?
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you.
I can't
We
remember what it's
also
called.
have some
Oh my
plans to go
God,
over,
tastes like
and
shit.
hopefully we can deepen our bonds.
How
as
my day's
partners.
going.
But we'll
I
take
thought I'd
that
buy
one
slightly
step at
more
a time,
expensive
I
coffee,
guess.
and it's
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
I probably will not even finish that or complain about it. Complain about it? Words are so hard today. Words are always hard. We are going all the way. Yeah, I probably won't. Probably won't even finish drinking it. God knows what I'm going to do with it. Christ, is it bad? I have to use it in baking or something. It tastes like coffee. It's so dull. I will not be freaking out about taking a break for a new coffee. That is a fact. Go to Spina de Dula. Alright. Come on, 4.2. Well, it is, isn't it?
It's
The
right up ahead. But let's make sure we weren't.
Archon
followed
Quest
first.
4.2, not the
I've
update.
been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
I'm glad.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, Traveler.
Well, the Spina de Rosula is not wheelchair accessible, and that seems like Jesus Christ. That seems not very nice of you. Christ. Well, it's wheelchair accessible if you want to go 50 miles an hour. Christ. Like. Oh, I've been here already. I know what's down there. Cool. I don't need to go back here. There's a little underground sewage system.
Let's move
There's like people living down there. It's quite cool. For anyone that doesn't. I don't know why we had to meet here and then go all the way over here, but hey. Oh, it wanted me to go through the door. Alright, that's on me. My bad. That's why I've got to go through it to get to it. I'm just going to put down the film path. Simple. Done. I went down to see if there were any hydroculus. I don't think there was. I don't think there was any at all. It was kind of a shame because I don't know how many are in this on the map so far and how many there are in total. But I have found quite a lot, and I'd very much like to finish finding them. Probably miss it. Well, from the amount of the map I've explored and the amount of times I've seen them, I know I'm missing 3 that I could get. Put it that way. I don't know where the rest are.
This is your base?
It is garbage.
What Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately.
You are living underground.
After all, we don't allow
in this-
illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
So you're a charity
Seems
that
like
blows
it's tough times for
citizens'
everyone.
money on food.
But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
Why do you spend all that
To
money?
be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago.
Makes sense.
I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
It's
Your
mainly because the
father.
cost of living crisis now. I feel you, Navia.
Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me.
I really want to know where the story is leading to. I don't understand what is
I'll
happening. I just
explain
want to
it
speak to
myself.
Farina.
I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners,
We literally met
something
Farina.
I
We could have been like, we need to speak to
understand.
Farina.
My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend, but he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh man.
No.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up.
Then why didn't he
At the time,
stand trial
I
until he
believed
was
that
innocent?
If he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender.
It sounds like he was very guilty.
Determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't
Yeah,
understand.
sounds like he
why.
was guilty and he was trying to pay for his
How could
own
he
sins.
protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself. The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
And now they're trying to kill you.
That's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something.
Probably do know.
They must know what really
How
happened.
long is the story,
Was
Michelle?
my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth.
He probably did.
If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I
What?
am investigating his death.
Why do we need this,
You
Kitchen?
really
Can we
are a
stop with
fan.
all this
Good on
sad
you,
shit?
Papa.
Like your family. Christ. Like, wow. He hid the fact from me that Mum ran away because of blah blah blah. Like, you could have just said that. Or that, you know, she passed away from something. Why complications during birth?
If there is anything I can do, anything
Stop
at
it.
all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case.
The story
for
keeps
him
going
to
in this
doubt
dark,
Callus the Unfaithful.
weird, creepy way.
Even
They're
our
probably like a
supporters
story
decreased
mission or
greatly
two
due to
from
that
catching
incident, hence
polio.
our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama.
Yeah, people of
It's not
Fontaine seem to be
something
very, very
exclusive
up
to people
themselves,
from
unfortunately.
Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
Yeah, I can understand. I just like watching people fall
Never
over.
mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is
He
one
died protecting his honor. Why are we going to
Master
dig up all the
Callus's
shit on it.
opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as
Yeah,
good as saying that she was the one who killed him? Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Sorry, I killed your dad. It's my
Has
job. Yeah.
always placed great emphasis on the
Look at this.
honorable nature.
Melis, I love you.
If her
You're not a
opponent
playable
doesn't
character.
yield, she will
Talk
not stop
quicker and
either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master
I wonder
Callus
if anyone,
requested that she
when this
ensure
game is
Mademoiselle
over,
Navia's safety.
it's just going to take all the cutscenes. I don't know if anyone's done it for like Monster and stuff. They've just put all the cutscenes
Yes,
together
that
so
is
you can
our
watch it as a movie.
understanding as well.
I wonder how long that movie would
No
last.
problem.
Jesus. Cutscenes in
What
this game gone.
madness drove you to ask the
Ever.
person who killed you to take care of me? All right. Anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
35 minutes into the stream and I haven't fought anyone.
Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite
No,
a day.
I do not want to go and rest. I want to go fight stuff. I want to go use my characters.
Please.
Spend all this money on my hacker. I want to
We
play
will
her.
ensure you rest soundly.
Rest in your room. Yeah, fine, whatever. There's no way to condense these stories.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's
Poisson?
Phoenix Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not
What
much
is
for
that
them to
from?
do here at the moment.
Oh my god.
Gets
I'm
the
going to be
feeling
giggling
you're
at that
just
for the
trying
next
to
10
get
minutes
them
if I
off
don't
your
remember what it's from.
But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Turn my phone down so it doesn't ring. No, there's a silly gift. Where's it?
Unfortunately,
I swear she says
this
plus
name
one.
seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't
Maybe I'll
seem
spell
to
it.
have a match anywhere. I suspect that those behind
Yep.
this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does.
I cannot remember. I swear
this
it's a
Vache person
woman in the video
was
and
a
she's like,
key witness
Poisson.
in the incident.
God knows. I cannot find it by typing in Poisson name, therefore it doesn't exist.
No. There is
I
one
missed
ray of
everything you
hope,
said, Navi. I'm
one
so
place
sorry.
in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette, a place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanid you met is one of the young
Oceanid?
women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
Oceanid.
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files?
Say that again, Navia.
Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we?
Google.
Aren't you coming
Translate.
along, Navia?
Because that's the only way I know how to get it to do the speaky thing.
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
I want it in English, please. No. Jesus Christ. Ocean. Turning my phone up. I want to hear this. Oceanid? Yep, Google says Oceanid. I'm going to continue.
Oceanid.
I'm going to continue saying Oceanid. Oceanid? I don't care how Genshin pronounces it. That's dumb. Oceanid. I was literally putting it in English so that one, I could learn the characters' names and the way they're meant to be pronounced. If they call the Oceanid Oceanid, maybe I should not believe them. Was it Neuvillette? Like, I think I was calling him Nouvelet, and then they were like Nervalet. I believe that's how they pronounced it. Sure, I'm going to call him whatever I want. Definitely not calling it the Cyanid. Jesus Christ. Don't know why that randomly triggered Cyanid. Christ. Go to the Chief Justice. Yeah. I just teleport. What am I doing with my life? I don't know why I was even at midnight. Sorry, there is a cocktail by me again.
The palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Cool. I didn't need that. Thank you, though. Go to the Chief Justice. I haven't gone here before. Is this the place that... I remember going somewhere on the map and there was a one of the creepy little... I don't know what they're called. They creep me out. I don't know. One of those characters stood behind the desk and it was like, oh, you can't go in certain rooms for off limits. So I can't remember. Yes, it was. Story time! Time for a story, it's time for a story. Special story, especially for... Don't know what that's from, I hope that's not CBB shit.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters. Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded.
Oh, it's from a...
Guess that proves that
From
none of
Burnham.
files are really
Burnham?
secure.
Burnham.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Well, do not recognise you.
Huh?
No way she's
Who
recognising
are
me.
you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules
I
make
really
no
hate their design.
exceptions.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Anyone can tell. If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy. So please leave if you don't.
You do
have a
not look
reason
very
to be
busy to
here.
me. You do look like you're wearing a
No,
onesie.
no. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorney.
You don't have.
It's all coming back to me now.
We've just come in and told you that we were at a trial and you've read a
Some
piece of paper
information on a follow-up
and
case.
you don't actually know anything.
Such
We could
an
just be
idea.
lying.
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
Oh,
Said no
then
one
I'll let
trustworthy
you
ever.
know. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Ah, thanks so much.
Go to the Chief Justice office. Yeah. Push my finger. Very
Please
cute.
come in.
Christ. You said stop. What are you doing? Good. Talk to Neverlay. Hopefully one of them will say his name so I know which one's the actual right pronunciation. Christ.
Sorry for our gym, Monsieur Nervalet.
Neverlay.
We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
We need the record of
So
her
you're
father's
not
death.
mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vache.
Oh no, we're doing this
He may
part,
have
okay.
been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may
Oh,
be
that's
able
nice.
to unearth some key information on
fine.
the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
2 cats, 2 mice. Snake. Maybe a second snake. A rabbit. Soon to be a second rabbit.
Who knew
That's
that
becoming
Nervalet
unbearable.
would be so easy to talk to?
If I had the money, I would wish on him. He's one of the first, like, male
Unfortunately,
characters in the game that's made me go, oh my god, he's so
I'm
cool.
quite certain that no one by the name of Vache
But
has been
still,
involved in any case.
He is
criminal
not
or civil, in the
Chlorind.
past several years.
He is not
There are no records of him either in
Rena.
the files.
And I do not
or
have
my
Bang
memory.
Bang. We are back to school.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man.
I might start naming these videos on YouTube Genshin the Movie Part 2. Because it's nice to stream this game,
And what are you trying
but
to
I
say?
haven't actually needed the controller other than for X.
Are
Oh,
you
and
trying to
to
console me?
teleport.
Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret?
He probably actually likes your father.
You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said
He's
those
trying.
things because you felt like you should.
What does it matter? It was a nice thing to say, whether he means it or not.
It's just like last
Walk
time.
outside and call him a cunt.
After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing
No, don't jump on your
compared
brother,
to
you
those
freak.
cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death,
Yeah,
then
you
why
freak.
didn't you call a stop to the duel?
You know he
didn't
does
you
not like
give me
being
the
super
power
close.
to stop
You
him
always
from throwing his
grab
life
him,
away?
clap,
Why did you
sniff.
just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many
I feel
questions
like a reaction
he still
stream on
owes me
YouTube.
answers to. If you really
Literally
have
said
no
like 10
heart,
words and I'm like,
then just look me in the
aha.
eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone.
Well, if he hadn't said anything, it would have stopped him getting shouted at for 5 minutes,
It's not
so
so much
I get
that
it.
you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Can we go to a part where I can just kind of like farm some artifacts, if that's alright? Also, sorry it's very dark. I'm not going to get up and turn the light on and turn my backlight on. I've already been streaming for 50 and I've not been able to do anything yet, so... Also, once again, you are here for the game. If you are here anyway. To the 4, 5 people that watch this. Thank you. This is Genshin. To be fair, I think one of my videos on YouTube got like 40 views. Damn. It's like Eula, I believe. Was it Eula? I need to like learn how to make them as shorts in the way that they fit on the screen.
Are you okay?
Because I want to get more eyes and interest on them. Obviously, that's, you know, what people do. And shorts are shown to a lot more people a lot of the time.
It's raining.
You're right.
I do not know how to do
It's
it.
so sunny when we
I also
went to
don't
the
massively
meeting,
care.
and there shouldn't be any
But like, it would be
active
cool.
trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
Okay, it was raining.
What is it?
Is the
Did you think of something?
emotions? What happened when it was raining? I can't remember. Was he outside when I cannot remember why they said it was
Yeah,
raining.
he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area
It
to
is
try to
in
account.
my character build.
Didn't find anything of value.
There was something you didn't know at the time.
Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
The fact that people can be turned into body, yes.
So you're
This is obviously what we're talking
saying
about.
that
Come on.
the true murderer could have been turned into water? and then go
Albedo got 46 views. Well done, Albedo. Okay, yeah. Albedo is my most viewed character build. 46 views. On a character that I completely forgot to mention you should play Noblesse Oblige on.
I found a true genius for a partner.
I should have sub DPS build Albedo, and that's obviously for C2 builds.
Connect the dots earlier.
Still works with C0 and C1. It's still very good. But obviously at C0, if you're not focusing on him doing the most damage possible, you're just playing with 4-piece Noblesse Oblige.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later?
I'd like to be finished with 4.2. Go first.
Alright, then I'll wait for you at Poisson.
It would have probably said the same thing either way I'd picked that, right? Fuck's sake. Why is this still 4.2? Truth lost with the rain. Go to... Oh. Well, yeah, I can claim a key. Give me my key. Thank you. Oh my god. Truth lost with the rain. Just want to be done with this. Story is very good. I do enjoy it. But, Christ. Every Archon quest takes an hour and a half. So, glowing K is dark. I probably look very special when I'm outside. There is something I missed. Hello, you controllers, start working. No, we're not going to Fontaine yet. There is a thing. Where is the thing? The water? You are mine, please come to me, I need you. And there we go. One more Hydroculus for the list. I did not know that was going. I've marked 2 or 3 on the map, but I just couldn't work out how to get to. It's like quest objectives. So they're the ones I actually know that I'm missing. I believe there's 3 that I'm missing. I did not know there was one here. Damn. Push me out of the water, please, Kokomi. Thank you. How am I getting back up? What the hell? I'm so confused. This place is a bloody mess. Most of Fontaine's beautifully laid out. This place is confusing. Do we go left to go right? Just gonna sound. Well, yeah, I just wrap around for it. Off we go. Down or relax. Oh, thank you. Not that it's of any use to me, but still, it's percentages towards the map.
Let's move out.
Navia. Oh, why? I was hoping it was going to be a follow Navia and do something and take a minute.
Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters.
Cool.
My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our tastes in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery.
Yeah, gigantic's a bit of an
ambition, and
overstatement. Come on.
conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers.
Yep, I was too actually.
Now
But
that
I
Paimon
don't know what I said.
this ship for
I'm gonna get myself comfy because I'm not, massively in the camera anyway. So I'm just gonna be down here now.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all.
USB device not detected. It's a controller. Sorry about the dings. Yeah, just connect. What's going on? I moved and now everything is broken. Oh, Christ. Really? I'm not allowed to move? I might have to mute this in a second if it keeps doing it. No, we're good. We are good. Go to Melis on the ship. Yeah, this ship isn't what I would call gigantic, considering, like, it's what? 4, 5 times the height of us. I don't think a 10-meter tall ship is very big. 10 meters tall, Christ. I would like to compare height difference, please, ship. Oh, well, maybe. Still wouldn't call it gigantic, but like bigger than I thought it was from over there. Christ. No. And that's what there roughly 7, roughly 8, 9, 10. I'm just doing some. I'm just gonna say it's 12. It's 12 times taller than us. I know I'm using Kokomi, but how big is a normal ship? 12 times say 6 foot for the sake of it. 72 foot. How tall was... I'm just going to go with the Titanic, because that is what I would call a ginormous ship.
Yeah, publishing house has released numerous
Jesus.
works that lay out military strategy in a simple...
There's 175 feet tall
Those are my favorite.
with the stack. Christ. This ship is not tall enough. Make it bigger. Make it ginormous. I could have just stood on the deck and said it was small because like you can only fit like 30 people up here, but I tried to measure it with my head height.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
Poisson.
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea?
Well, he said he was investigating
You
it, so
still remember,
probably.
right, Luce? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Probably not.
More about what happened before?
Well, the Disappearing Girls have been going on for 20 years, so
Of course.
don't
Many
tell
years
us more.
ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson.
Oh,
At a
I'm going to
glance,
stop saying that.
it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
It was a drug.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yes,
He
it
did.
did.
I remember that actually.
Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions.
That's
But
LSD.
if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything.
Yeah, that's called
It's an
addiction.
extremely dangerous
Well,
substance.
that's severe
As he
addiction, but still.
oversaw Poisson, my father
Withdrawal
was
symptoms,
compelled
that's what I
to
was
put a
looking
stop
for.
to synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only that, the boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Good plan.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning, so he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father
Christ,
hosted a
Fontaine is
meeting at his
depressing, isn't it?
countryside estate. We planned to meet up and
We've had-
exchange information with Jacques over some food.
Well, we've had sexual assault, we've had bloody
We heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard.
woman
We
passing
raced to the
during
scene and found
childbirth.
my
Now we're
father,
on drug abuse
still
and
holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
I know I didn't pay a lot of attention to the Samara story, but Christ, face cam is blurred. Is it? I'm sat all the way down here in the dark.
Doesn't it? In both cases, The culprit seemed
Yeah,
obvious,
that seems fun.
but neither appeared to have
It
any
goes in and
knowledge at
out
all.
sometimes, but
Looking
yeah.
back on it, though,
It's probably because I'm sat so far away with my
the important clue was
the
something we
lights.
all overlooked at the
The
time.
lights on these headphones mess with it,
Clothing left at
and it
the
tries to like autofocus on them instead of my face. God knows why it does it. It's better now. I'm glad. I'm gonna sit up. Hopefully the story's on the server. So they could have belonged to someone who got dissolved. Maybe.
Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the bank.
Anyways, gonna head out, and that's
But
fine. Enjoy
considering it
your
now, it's
more
pretty
revising,
certain they
night,
belong to a
studying,
third person
sleep,
at the
whatever
scene.
you end up doing.
With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
Maybe the father got into an argument with
You're right.
Jax.
We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with zero warning.
Only
I
12
think
a.m.
this third person is probably the key to the full truth.
Gonna need some rest. That is a
God
good
knows,
plan.
however,
Good plan to try and get some sleep. I should
Even
try and have a
though
good
this
stream.
will not please
You
you,
too.
Demoiselle, as you're and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and
Glad he's
Boss has
insidious,
already
'cause
lost
that way
his
he's
life
not
trying
scary.
to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula
Ooh,
has
the Battle
lost
Academy
most of
store.
its
I'm just looking
former
at Apex
glory,
stuff now.
Poisson has welcomed
So,
a new time
need
of
to stop doing
peace,
that.
and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's plan. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect
Well, he
any
protected
of it
you from
in the
what
end?
is going to be the truth that
Sin
we find out.
is still here.
Christ.
Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless
I just noticed you
and
put
live
fish
out
in
my
your hands.
life
Like, you're probably
just
not
as
even in the chat
meaninglessly?
anymore, but nice
Never
magic fish.
accepted that. Ever. Not since
Sorry, I
that
had to mute
day,
myself
and
to sneeze.
certainly not
I've not
now.
taken my allergy tablets today, and
I
I'm
want to
dying.
find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, Demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Maloose.
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case.
I really need to start taking my.
All the tensions to the
I used to be really good at it. I
boiling
used to
point
take
with the
my allergy
revelation
tablets
that
for
you,
remodeling. Although back in
Demoiselle,
the time I'm talking about, they were good allergy tablets. But now I'm using garbage ones.
What?
They are not as strong. They are not as good.
Boss
Random
wants
product
to
placement.
tell you that he
Let's slide this screen.
had been diagnosed with a
Didn't
rare
do that. I
illness.
just thought I would.
The doctors told
I'm
him
trying to
that
find
he
something that's
had
probably behind it.
no more than 5 years left to live. And the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final
No, hopefully that's better.
intimidation tactic.
I know it takes them 15 minutes to kick in, but I can't keep sneezing like this.
To have
Christ.
already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina de Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right. So nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked.
I
Even
am
though Boss has
dying.
been
Jesus
gone for a long
Christ.
time,
My entire
the
life
other
face.
side has not tried to
I
take
do not know what is
Demoiselle's
going
life.
on.
No, I
Ugh.
don't believe it. He never appeared to look
I'm allergic
sad
to
me.
pet fur.
No
and
father wants their
Getting
daughter
is
to see
abysmal
them
for
weak
it.
and haggard,
My
especially
rabbit's
someone
also the
playing
worst for it.
the
I don't know why.
To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor is the
I hate it. I hate it. I really do. They are adorable though. Try to buy a ridiculous amount of tablets. Buy it. I sneeze again.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword.
I'm glad he wanted her to be the one to take it up in his stride. In his stead. In his stead.
I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
He probably would.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No.
Praise that
He
bell.
might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now? Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where synth is produced.
Oh,
Essentially,
why don't we just go to Reno, the place?
when he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found.
But you know where synth is created and you
But
just
if you
left it
want
alone
to
for 20
use
years.
it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go
Yes.
storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades.
Who cares?
There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We
Probably
also have
nothing.
no
They've had
idea
20
what
years
kind
of complete
evidence they
silence
may
from
have
everyone and have gotten away with it for so long. Why would they care?
People we may be able
The
to
defense
capture.
mechanism is probably a
A
key.
single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war.
Yeah, so let's do it properly. Let's
Worst
invite
case,
Farina and all the guards and the police and...
handed, but
He's
also
left them alone for
ourselves
20
up to
years.
full retaliation.
I believe it's 20 years. I might be
In
wrong.
that case,
I believe there's
why
20
not
years.
work with the Fontaine authorities?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Fact.
That's true.
Oh.
Seems my father
You
really
didn't know
did
this for the last
change.
20 years, though, so you just didn't do it because
Things
you bothered, I
are
guess.
different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
Hopefully.
You sound like you put a lot of thought into this, Malus.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
You too.
Thank you for all of that, Malus. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news.
I'm going to get to the end of this story, but hopefully it hurries up because it's now been an hour and 10 minutes I've been streaming and I've not done anything in game. And I wanted to go and spend my resident. I want to go do stuff. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to need an hour and stop myself, whatever this is. I need to remember to take my tablets when I wake up. It's so stupid. The reason I don't take these when I wake up is because they're garbage. Yeah, they're just super good ones. I had these really nice fancy Benadryl
He always knew our
and there were
unknown plans
wonders.
and could
These only
thus
seem to
avoid
ever last like
capture
2-3
for some
hours.
time. There's someone else
I was
like
meant to
him
take it
too.
before stream, I forgot because I was too busy
Marcel,
cooking.
the head of Confrérie of Cabriere.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild
How
of
long?
croissant. The boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence.
Genshin?
In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of
How
the
long's the
richest guilds
Barbie
around,
movie?
with a lot
How long's
of business
Oppenheimer?
connections in the city.
I haven't seen either of them.
They're like a sister
I've
organization
been streaming for an hour
of
and
Rosula?
Barbie
You
movie.
can say that.
Like
When we were fighting against the synth dealers,
L
they
54.
provided us with
Jesus.
plenty of support. It's
Oppenheimer.
a bit difficult to imagine
movie.
someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
Oppenheimer is 3 hours.
Final suspect is
Oh.
Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to
Christopher
our
Nolan's
own
new movie,
devices, there are
180
still
minutes
many
and 9
activities we have
seconds
to
long.
report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always.
I was going to say, it's been like an hour and
I see.
10 minutes I've been streaming. You could watch a decent movie in that time, or I could watch like a new movie.
Quite regularly.
Barbie's 2 hours long. Oppenheimer's 3?
We've been fighting against
Christ on a
next to me
bike.
all along. Among those I trust the most.
It's going to take me a whole morning to watch them both.
Almost too hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of that we know, okay.
Of course. And thank you, Malus.
Yes, well, there's a lot of great information. You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty.
Before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care.
There is always a
They still
bar
live in
for
Forsol today.
as
If
well
you
as.
need help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Aw, thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
A new case awaits, my dear partner.
Leave it to me.
I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
Palace Case Records. Thank you. See, not even the end. Oh, there's a thing behind me. I missed. There's 2 down here. Christ! Is it Jack's family? I will do when I wanted to finish 4.2 and change my dailies, but I guess that ain't happening right now. Jesus Christ! This is the world's longest story mission. But an hour and 10 minutes. I'm sorry that nothing has happened and I've got nothing done. I've just been listening to a story. Quite boring. To obviously watch. If you did watch, thank you very much. But yeah, I'm sorry. There is many things I need and want to do in Genshin, and I will be doing them in the next video because I still need to finish 4.2 so I can just unlock my bloody daily commissions. I'm going to go make myself a coffee with the good coffee. I'm going to go sort out my bloody allergies, and I shall see you all very soon.